Hi, I'm Amanda Henck. I'm a fifth-year PhD student in the Department of Earth and Space Sciences. I was in China for the fourth year of the exchange program in 2005-2006, which was the third year of my PhD program, and I was the TA for the exchange program that year.
Wonderful. So how did you hear about the program? What led you to a decision to go?
I first heard about the program my first year at the University of Washington. My advisors actually saw something about it on the front page of the UW homepage. And so I thought, well, that's a great way for me to get to study abroad in China, go back to China. And so I went and approached Gretchen Kalanji, who was in charge of the program at the time, and suggested that I could be the TA for a future year. And she said, oh, sorry, we don't need TAs. I subsequently found out about the IGRT program, also through the Multinational Collaborations on Challenges to the Environment IGRT program, through my advisors, applied to that. Gretchen told me my research was too esoteric, I'd never get funded. They funded me anyway. The IGRT requires you to study abroad. In the first year of the IGRT, we were very restricted. We were told we had to study abroad at one of 6 universities, I believe, and one was Sichuan University. And so even though when Gretchen left, things got more relaxed and we could choose to go anywhere, it made sense for me to go to Sichuan University, where we had an established exchange program, even though it wasn't the absolute best choice for my research. Yunnan University would have made more sense. Sichuan University is a better school and a better name, and going somewhere where we already had the relationship set up made a lot more sense for my research.
Can you tell me a vivid memory of how you befriended a local?
I was really fortunate when I went to Chengdu that I had family friends from Hong Kong. I grew up in Hong Kong, who are from Chengdu, and they introduced me to someone who, she and her husband work for the consulate and for a nonprofit called the Badi Foundation. And this man, Alex, the husband, introduced me to the daughter of a friend of his. She was a really spunky 18-year-old freshman, and she and I, on the surface, we didn't really have a whole lot in common. She's interested in environmental issues. She's an environmental engineer, but other than that, I'm almost 10 years older than she is, and we would get together for dinner and just have these great conversations. I learned really quickly that I had to be careful about having strong opinions around her. She became a vegetarian the first night we went out to dinner together because I'm a vegetarian. But we had a really good sort of older sister, younger sister type relationship. And she was probably, even though I'd lived in China for a year prior to the exchange program, I hadn't really had any close friends like this. And so that was really special. I was really lucky that I knew these people who had been in China for 11 years at that time.
So you were in China, so welcome back to U.S. How did this program impact you in your current life? We're talking about anything from work to study or friendships. Do you plan to go back?
I have gone back once since I got back from the exchange program, and I'm going back again in October this year. I studied environmental engineering as an undergraduate because of a love for China that I've had from a young age, and I never had an opportunity to study abroad. And although I taught English in China the year before I started graduate school, it was a completely different experience from being there and living and being a student, not being the foreign English teacher, the foreign expert. And my graduate career has been just completely different from anyone else in my department. I'm one of 2 people that I know of in my department who has studied abroad, the only one who has participated in collaborative interdisciplinary research. I've gotten to collaborate with people from a bunch of different departments because of the exchange program. I got to work with a bunch of undergraduates in a huge range of departments in a mentor capacity that you rarely get as a graduate student, and certainly not with people from other departments. I've gotten publications in a wide variety of fields that, not just standard geology journals. And I definitely feel like I'm more marketable outside of academia because of it. Maybe not in academia because of problems with interdisciplinary being accepted in traditional departments, but certainly outside of academia in environmental consulting and things like that.
Now, that's a benefit for you, but what about the benefit in your community, to UW? Let's even talk about the Great America.
I think that people in the U.S. tend to be a little bit scared by China. They think of China as this big conglomerate country of I don't know, like machines or something, that China's going to take over the world. And having people who have actually gone to China and lived there and experienced, you know, we were shopping in the markets and eating at the restaurants next to all the local people. We were in classes with the local students, interacting with them on a daily basis. It makes it all a lot more real, and it makes us realize that we have to think of the whole Earth as one country and not think about our individual sections, and not think about just trying to get the U.S. ahead, but thinking about truly a global society, because we've got to the stage in humanity's development that we need to think about global society, not about getting ahead for your country. And the more people study abroad and have experiences overseas and form bonds with individual people, the more we're going to be able to really move forward with that, especially in the U.S. where we tend to not move our country.
So finally, any last words to any prospective students?
It doesn't matter if it takes you an extra quarter, an extra year to graduate, because this program is absolutely 100% worth it. The experience of studying abroad is something that I realized around the time I graduated from undergrad that I had really missed out on, and that I really wish that I had sat down with an advisor my freshman or sophomore year and talked about how I could do it. And the fact that we have this amazing opportunity at the UW to go abroad and not just take classes in English, you're taking classes in Chinese, you're taking classes with international students from a huge number of countries, and to do research. I mean, you're doing independent research as an undergraduate. 2 of the 10 students I was in China with have already published papers on their research, and there are more in the works. So this is the kind of opportunity that you never get normally, and on top of that, you're getting this really deep personal interaction with the faculty who are involved in the program, on the Chinese side and on the American side. It's not something to be missed or to be passed up lightly.
That's wonderful, Amanda. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.